How much wanking can we do? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Dragon Force.
Fucking A. Wow.
Seems like nice enough guys, but just over the top.
Yeah, a little too much for my taste, that's for sure.
I agree. All right, well, it is your Classic Metal Show. That is the interview portion of the show. The first 3.5 hours have already been consumed.
Yeah, so good night, all.
Yep, you got your medal.
That's right. You got your medal, got your Chicago. What else do you need?
Right. Look at Autoclave Jr. Thank you, Neeley. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Hail and Kill, boys. How you going? It's Tim James.
Hello, Tim James. How can we serve you this evening, sir?
I'm served pretty well. I was just ringing in to make a few comments about stuff that's been going on this week.
All right. Well, our commentator abroad, Tim James, is checking in all the way from Sydney, Australia. So how do things in the U.S. market affect Tim James in Australia?
Because don't you know that most, not all, but most great rock and metal comes from the UK and America?
All right. And how does that affect
Not
Australia?
All. Well, I was just going to make a comment. You know, have you guys seen the stuff that Gene Simmons said this week?
Well, actually, you were calling in just in time, Tim, because that was actually going to be our next topic.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just wondering what you guys thought about that. I mean, he's come out and apologised and whatever, but I know how Chris often feels about this stuff. How, you know, nobody's better than anyone else, and that nobody's situation is unique, and we all just need to get on with it and whatever. So I was just wondering what your guys' take on it was, but I guess we're about to hear anyway.
Yeah, well, how do you feel about that, Chris? Is this a feeling for you?
We'll get there.
we are gonna cover this, Tim. So next question.
All right. Yeah. The other thing was, have you guys seen this ongoing battle between Sully Erna from Godsmack and Nikki Sixx?
Yeah, we're gonna actually talk.
You really are riding those Motley Crue balls tonight, aren't you, Tim? Jesus.
I've ridden enough balls in my lifetime, guys.
Oh my! See, Tim, this is why we like you, because you're self-defecating in your humor, and you get the joke, and you know, this is why I can like and respect you as a person.
I think it's deprecating, not defecating.
Defecating. That was a Freudian slip.
So far in my lifetime, I haven't been defecated upon, thank God.
You're self-defecated upon, apparently.
All right. But Tim?
And the other comment, well, I'll let you talk about these things, but the other comment I had to make was that I can't wait for Bob Nalbanian's movie to come out, so some of us in this side of the world can actually see it. And when it does come out, I'm gonna purchase it, so it might pay his rent for half a day.
Right. Well, I think you'll really enjoy it, Tim. Being a music fan that you are, I think you'll absolutely love it.
Yep. And by the way, the show last week was awesome, Chris. There's some really cool stuff going on there. It was out of control, but it was
Now, you're saying it's awesome. Neeley got text saying that it was train wreck radio at its worst.
Well, we all know about me. I mean, Generation Swine's one of my favourite albums, so what do I know? Hail and Kill.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
And there goes Tim. There's a guy who's not afraid to make fun of himself.
No, why should he be?
No, he's not, but he does, though. He makes fun of himself.
Sure he does.
So, well, good for Tim.
That's right.
But, Tim, you did tune in at the right time because we were actually going to get into this.
All right.
Gene Simmons, I've never really had a thought on Gene one way or the other. I think that he's a very savvy business person.
Okay.
But on a personal level, I don't have a thought one way or the other. Hail and Kill, caller, you're on the air.
Hail and Kill, boys.
Hello, Motorhome. What's going on?
Well, fuck all, but I just wanted to comment on last week's show.
Okay.
That Geoff Tate shit was awesome.
What was?
The Geoff Tate stuff.
Yeah, I agree. It was a good segment.
Yeah, Buford T. Justice, Deputy Dog. He was awesome.
Okay. So you liked me the fact that I had unwashed guests in the studio thwarting the stones and arrows of the real Geoff Tate and not really knowing how to make what to make of it.
Well, it was my favorite part was this is just one fucking guy sitting in a room all by himself, isn't it? Oh fuck, that was great.
It's like that, huh? I think Chris got an email this week that said somebody listened to that segment like 20 times.
Yeah,
that was me.
Shane Hartley messaged me on Facebook saying listen to it 29 times.
Yeah. Every night after work, I listen to her half a dozen times. Like, that just fucking killed me.
You love that segment, huh?
That was awesome.
I'm going to have to go back and listen to that again. I listened to it twice, and I thought it was pretty good. But according to Chris and now according to you, that was just a home run out of the park.
Oh, Christ, that was gold. It was gold. As your brother-in-law or your sister's boyfriend started realizing what was happening, it was just, yes.
Okay. Well, I didn't take that away from that segment, but I guess that's how people interpreted.
Oh, Christ, it was good. It was good. But anyway, boys, hail and kill. Fuck you, pal. Hand job.
There were a couple segments that were really fun last week.
Well, I agree. I mean, I agree, but just hearing, Motorhome and, the guy, emailing you, apparently that resonated with some people.
I liked that segment a ton. I really did. And I loved listening back to when I caught my hair on fire. It was fucking hilarious.
Sure. Okay. Well, it's interesting what people take away from the show.
Right.
Because I did listen back to those a couple of times, and, I thought they were pretty good segments, but I didn't find them to be like the knockdown, drag-out segment that you said, you had, and now Motorhome, he's calling in and said he loved that, and, obviously the real Geoff Tate segment, favorite for some, not so much with others.
Right, exactly. I thought it was real good, though.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
See, now Nathan from Kentucky, he says he loved it.
Which one?
The Tates meet the Neelys, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the better Tate calls, honestly.
Yeah. Hail and Kill, caller, you're on the air.
Just wanted to say to Motorhome and to the other cat that listened 29 times, thank you. I appreciate it. Every time I think that the Tate character has run its course, I come up with something else. So
well, my sister was horrified after she listened back to it, because she was pretty flying high, when she was on the show, and she even said that she and her friends who they hang out with, they sat and listened to it twice.
So your sister it was pretty obvious she didn't know what was up.
No, neither did her boyfriend. I mean, they kind of knew, but they really didn't know, and it was just sort of, okay, how does this work? And I guess we'll just play along, and they just really didn't know what to make of it. It was like, a stranger in a strange land, as it were. It's just like, okay, I'm not really sure what the natives do here, but I'll just kind of follow suit and follow along.
I didn't know if you whispered in her ear or something.
Oh no, she was across. No, she was across the room there. I had no control over what they did or said.
Oh, okay. Because we did this with Chris's friend Kurt at one point.
Yeah, and he had no idea. He thought you were really Geoff Tate.
Well, so did she, apparently, at first.
That's great.
Well,
that quizzical. You don't sound like yourself. You don't sound like I remember you, or you sound different, or whatever.
Well, according to Nathan from Kentucky, Chris asking your sister about the biggest cock she's ever had, classic.
Yeah, he was throwing caution to the wind there.
Wow.
Well, that was after Neeley gave you a warning to not be on 10.
A warning that was obviously completely ignored, as usual.
Well, but the thing is I gave her fair warning. I said, you really need to consider whether you want to be a part of this or not. And she at first was like, I'm just going to sit and listen. I'm just going to sit here and listen. And, the mic was really in front of her boyfriend's face, and she couldn't help but grab that mic and get on there right away,
Right.
So it was just like, once the inhibitions were gone, she was ready to go.
Apparently.
So
I think my favorite part of the segment is speaking with Miranda. I think Sheriff Jim may have been still a little bit quizzical about the whole thing when he told her to. I think the thing you need to do is get to a window or go to a neighbor or scream really loud.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Doghouse. My favorite segment was a couple of weeks ago when you did the whole, doing the whole maraca thing and banging on the coconuts and, doing
I go.
Oh my God, that was hysterical. And then out in the distance, Miranda saying, "This is so dumb."
I wasn't sure how well that came over.
I loved it, man. I listened to that at least 3 or 4 times. It just cracked me up. Just the fact that you were, I don't even know what your setup is there, but you sitting there shaking the maracas and cracking on something that sounds like a coconut shell and then doing the whole voices out.
I got these coconut maracas. I'm just sitting at my desk playing these maracas, I mean, I played drums when I was a kid, so I have some rhythm in my bones. You know what I mean?
Sure. Well, how did you do the coconut sound where it sounded like you were cracking on a coconut at the same time?
I was just hitting the maracas together.
Oh, I gotcha. So you were shaking them and then banking them together.
Yeah, I was just making the rhythm with the two sounds. I can do it while I walk too, actually.
I see. I gotcha.
And then for the Miranda in the background, you just hold the phone out at arm's length, then turn your head in the other direction and talk.
See, you're giving away all your secrets.
Shh. People are going to know you're not really
anymore.
Geoff Tate.
Well, we're supposed
talking in a little 12-year-old girl voice is something that I can't explain how I do though. But no, I'd still say my favorite segments have been the 2 different phone sex with Susan.
Wow.
And it's just like after those 2, I don't know where else there is to go, but every so often I reach out and come up with something.
Nice.
But you just wanted to say thanks to Motorhome and to the other dude. Thanks for all the accolades. We appreciate it. Me and the Tate family all appreciate it.
Well, I've heard from other people personally, too, that they thought that was really great as well. And it was just like, okay, I got to go back and re-listen to this again. Not that I didn't think it was funny, but apparently that resonated with people, and I'm not exactly sure why.
It was real good.
I haven't re-listened to it myself, so maybe I need to also.
It was really good.
And I've also trolled the internet and found people who think it's, fucking stupid.
Whatever.
I don't care. I laugh. So long as I'm having fun, I don't give a fuck.
Sure.
Sounds like the show's motto these days, as long as we think it's funny.
Right.
That works. All right. I just wanted to give a little love to my adoring public.
Right. All right. Hail and kill.
Hail and kill.
All right. So funny. 29 times.
29, 37 in a row.
Yeah, in a row. Somebody listening to that segment 29 times. And in Motorhead, he said he listened to it twice a night.
It's 14 hours.
Look at that, Ryan. Neely's sister sounds hot.
Neely's sister is hot. I'll say it. And I'm not drunk tonight, but Neely's sister's hot.
That's funny.
She's a hottie. She empties the sheriff's bullets, I'm sure, regularly.
Right. Law dog. Buford T. Justice.
Buford T.
I love it.
I like that. Officer Jim!
Officer Jim! I'm locked in a basement.
Help!
So funny.
That was such a good segment.
Sure.
Miranda lies.
Yeah. So good.
It was one of his best.
Yep. Don't pay any attention to her.
Yeah, she makes things up.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost as bad as Jim Norton's ability to keep a secret.
Right.
Oh, nice. I was going to see if my sister was awake, see what her thoughts were.
Bring her on.
I'm going to see. I'm going to call her up. Let me see here. I don't know if she's asleep because it is almost 1 o'clock.
Order one. Wake her up.
Let me see here.
It's weird that she likes to be called Lizzie and not Liz.
I don't know. It's just weird.
Is that just a drunken thing?
I have no idea.
You seem to be calling her Liz, and she didn't have a problem with that.
I know. That's what we always called her. She's, chicks are just weird that way.
Yeah.
Just change their mind from day to day.
Minute to minute.
Exactly. I don't know if we'll get her or not because it is late, so she may not even be awake.
Like, fuck. Hello.
Your call has been forwarded.
No.
Nope, she's done.
Nope. Out for the night.
Yep.